Eastside Institute for Short-Term Psychotherapy is an international research and training center for new approaches to human development and community. Dr. Lois Holzman is the Institute's Director of Research and Educational Programs.
Our unique approach to human growth and learning has led to several programs that are at once cultural, educational, and therapeutic. One of the most dramatic success stories is the All-Stars Talent Show Network, a development program for inner-city youth.
From humble beginnings in a church basement in the South Bronx, one of New York City's poorest neighborhoods, the All-Stars Talent Show Network has become, in 2 decades, the country's largest and most successful educational and therapeutic anti-violence program for inner-city youngsters. The All-Stars involves 20,000 young people, ages 5 to 25, in cities across the country who create talent shows in their neighborhoods, supported by hundreds of middle-class and wealthy adults. Dr. Lois Holzman, a developmental and educational psychologist, has been with the All-Stars since the beginning and is delighted to have seen it come of age.
We decided to go behind the scenes of the talent show to see what we could discover. We trained 3 young leaders of the All-Stars to conduct research on their program. I've been doing research for 30 years now, and I've learned that the best way to do it is to have fun with it. Development is a joyous experience, and studying the All-Stars really drove that point home. So we came to you, Mary and I came to you on behalf of the Eastside Institute to invite you to participate in a research project with us, right? To us, this difference between behaving and performing has always been big. Like All-Stars helps in situations of potential misbehaving to create something through performance that might be growthful instead of destructive. And we thought that how to take what you had all said, which is we should follow a few kids, but we think that who should be followed is you.
You want to call it an interview or a discussion?
A discussion.
Discussion.
How big do we want these groups though?
What 3 groups we gonna do when?
Now how y'all gonna talk to these people?
I gotta write out a script.
No, I hate scripts.
Like, hello, this is Lisa from Development School for You. And I speak to Corey.
Can't we just like have thoughts come in? Just thoughts, people's thoughts?
This is gonna take
It's not gonna take that long.
You just came off stage audition, right?
Yeah.
You auditioned already. So how do you feel right now?
I feel alright. I feel happy because this is my first time actually on stage singing.
You don't feel not nervous?
I've been dancing all my life.
Yeah, we all have.
We've just another audition.
Yeah, we've done stuff.
So you've performed on stage before together?
Yes. Yeah, for 4 years.
Tell me how you feel right now after auditioning.
Oh, I feel kind of upset because I don't think I did a good job. Because I was so nervous when I got up there and I kind of messed up. Well, everybody's telling me you did fine, but to me, I rate myself. And you know, from a 1 to 10, I give myself a 1.
Yeah?
Yes, that's how bad I feel about my performance.
When y'all hear the word behavior, what does it mean to y'all?
The way you act.
Obedience, respect,
the way you act.
Your behavior, like when you're in public or be it with your family or your girl or whatever, the way you act.
Behavior, the way you conduct yourself, your attitude, the way people perceive you in your life, the way you maintain yourself every day.
What did you do in school that makes you think that you behave?
I respect my teacher.
Think y'all behave while you're in school?
Oh, of course. It's all about just doing your homework, have some respect, don't say nothing, don't talk, that's it, and you'll pass.
What you have to do.
No summer school, no nothing.
Do what you have to do.
When you think of the word performance, what do you think?
Dancing, singing, poetry reading. Performances, that's my heart. That's what I do.
Performance for me is expressing my personality.
Like when you hear the word perform, what do you think about?
To try my best.
Everybody perform anyway. I mean, you can perform anywhere. Performance is somebody fronting in the street right now.
When you perform, you can pretend.
I could say performance is like to show others what talent we got, you know what I mean?
I guess it's being extraordinary and find everybody else ordinary. It's a creative way of being, and that's extraordinary in itself.
I think you did a fantastic job.
I didn't know what to expect going in it, like going to interview all these young people, all around the same age as me. I didn't know what to expect.
I just felt like Sam Donaldson or somebody. I felt like somebody.
We kept saying Regis and Kathy Lee.
Yeah, we kept saying.
I kind of had a lot of fun because you got to sit and talk with some of the performers and really like kind of pick their brain.
They all came to the All-Stars for one thing, that was to perform on stage, but it was like they all were different.
A lot of like singers and dancers and little kids and older kids and individual rappers and rap groups.
But I felt a lot better when they, like when the person gave more, then it kind of made our job easier.
How did you think you all performed, the three of you?
I think I got better as I went along.
Yeah, he did get better.
I think he did. Because the first one I did, I think I did it by myself.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, well let me ask these questions. And then it was like, at a certain point, I wasn't even asking questions that was on the paper.
Yeah, we were just like...
I was just, whatever, like based on what they said, I would ask a question on that.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew, I was like, okay, well I'm getting into this.
I think we all got better actually, because when they said things, we wanted to know why, so we asked them why. Or if they said something a little bit too small, we asked them to explain or expand on it.
The first two groups you spoke to, when you said, what is behavior, they're like, where'd you come from? What planet are you from? What are you asking me? I don't understand.
What is behavior to you?
Could you rephrase the question?
I don't know. I mean, what do you mean by that? I really don't understand what you mean by behavior.
And as you went along, you reframed the question.
Yeah.
When you saw there was a response of blankness, you reframed it.
Give me an example of like when you're behaving.
Always.
Bad. You're always
She's
behaving.
always behaving. We have degrees of badness here.
I think that that performance question really threw me for a loop because most of them kept saying something about being on stage.
Performing is just being free on stage and doing what you like.
We're gonna get up on the stage and do what we gotta do or whatever it is.
On stage, it's like a whole different me. It's LZR. It's not Wayne. I mean, it's LZR.
At one point, I was like, why is everybody saying,
Yeah, because we're so used to...
Yeah, I mean, because I'm not...
everyday life.
Yeah.
It seemed like some of them were thinking that maybe they're trying to talk about performance in everyday life, but nobody really said it.
You're performing like everywhere you go because it's like people are always watching you.
You perform when you go to work. You perform when you wake up in the morning. Perform when you go to school.
There was this other glimmer of performing has something to do with other people watching you.
Yeah.
That was interesting to me. Like
because a lot of them said that performing to them is going up on the stage and making the crowd happy.
Performance means letting out my feelings and let the audience feel what I'm feeling.
I think of making the crowd feel what you're doing.
All of them, when they said behavior was something that was bad. It was like, behavior automatically was something bad.
Like, she behaves bad in school, or she behaves bad here.
Yeah.
They didn't think about just behavior.
So when you hear the word behavior, what does that mean to you?
Like bad performance.
When you hear of behavior, it's not when you do something good half of the time.
Yeah.
It's only when you misbehave, when you're doing something you're not supposed to.
No, when you hear behavior, like behavior,
I mean, some people said it in other ways, but we had to get that out of them. We had to actually ask them, well, is behavior only something that's bad?
I see what you're saying. It could be that what we're now identifying is people's first response, like those people who went with negative for behavior or the stage with performance. But then when you keep asking, and that's the importance of keeping, don't stop with that one first answer. Ask what else, or what about in school, or what about this, what you were doing. And I think you'll get more varied responses. The way you ended was really lovely. You thanked people and you went around and you shook their hands, and it was so now you have to do even better.
You up for it?
Yes.
You up for it?
afternoon and welcome to the All-Stars Talent Show Workshop for our Canarsie show. If you get anything out of the All-Stars, I want you to be self-conscious in your life that everything you do is a performance. Walking down the street, it's a performance. How you interact with your mother. You can decide if you want to be reactive, if you want to talk. You can decide if you want to hit somebody because you happen to be mad at them, or if you want to go somewhere and write a poem and then come back and talk about it later. You can make a decision how you're going to interact and carry out your life.
And the workshop is part of teaching you how to use this thing called performance so that you could use it in your everyday life.
Love is the answer to all things, and my prayers have been answered. You waited for me to say that it was okay and I would be okay.
Make time to lose time. Are you addicted yet? Still looking for someone to light your glamour cigarette?
Like a thief in the night, you stole my heart, and for the precious moment, I felt as free as a bird and as loved as a newborn baby.
I guess until I get tired of living sadly, I'll just keep making excuses to be unhappy.
So we need to create a skit, like a 2-minute skit. So, any ideas on what we need to do the skit on? How can we go about doing it?
First, we have to think of a setting.
We need a setting. We need a scene. You have one?
An idea?
Waking up smoking a cigarette.
Okay.
And then
how about he fall asleep smoking a cigarette, and then the rest of the play is his dream.
And we'll all do a line from our poem, a good line about feelings, things that you're dreaming about, while you're smoking a cigarette. You know, so everyone could come out. Does anyone object to this idea, or does everyone like it? It's cool. Now you're gonna do your part. You should be in a chair so that it can seem as if you're sleeping. We're all gonna be in the wings, but we just need to know who's gonna go first, so that it can flow properly.
Flick my ashes everywhere.
What will be today and what will be tomorrow?
Want to live my life like this. I would like to be able to do many things.
I see you smiling, but you're not happy.
I'm terminally affected and you're at the root of my infection.
I give long life to her, for there is no other who can take the place of my dear mother. What you were to me in life, you are to me in spirit.
Irresistible thoughts, but times are still hard.
When the sun sets, I dream.
All these thoughts, but hey, that's my life.
Give it up, number 5!
I like how they got the workshops going because that gives everybody a time to get to know each other. You know, through the day of that show, when that person get off the stage, you're gonna make you a friend. You gonna be like, all right, you know what I mean? That was good. You did your thing.
It helps us put on a better performance for the day of the show. Like, for the audience, we won't be as nervous because we all know each other.
The fact that you composing it with people that you don't know makes it better, because if you don't know them, they don't know you, so you feel like everybody's in the same situation, so it's really not that bad.
I gotta know you as a person in order to perform with you, so really I'm not feeling that, but in a sense I am feeling that to get me accustomed to start feeling that, you feel me? It's more professional, more organized. I mean, everybody's on the same page.
I think All Stars is much better because other talent shows, you audition and then you have the show. But when you go home, between that, you feel kind of scared and you don't know what to do. And the workshop, I think, is much better because they have that, because so you can, they warm you up.
What I like was the no rejection part. Like at the audition, they were all like, everybody's gonna be in the show. I was all like, okay, that's good, because I mean, how's it gonna be, you know, they say, okay, sorry, you can't be in the show. You're gonna hurt somebody's feelings.
This here is ill, man. Everybody get a chance to know each other. You still got your little, even if you got people in the audience booing you, All Stars ain't gonna boo you.
Feel more encouraged.
You know what I'm saying? You feel you got more, exactly, you got more courage in you.
I was fascinated with this, and it was striking to me how cooperative everybody was.
It's always like that, but then they'll all read their poems, and then they'll make up a theme, and then somebody want to do this, that, or that.
Also, you want to have a successful show, you know? I do.
Yeah, it is kind of.
You want to bring a lot of people. You want to make sure that the show is fun, that you enjoy the show. So, I mean, you do work hard at what you do.
They said they love the skits because they got to know other people. When we watched the actual putting together of the skits, what's so interesting is they hardly talk to each other. And that's a very different thing than how they might or you might say you got to know somebody, because usually you talk to somebody.
It was good because you get to meet, like I said before, you got to meet new people and about them and stuff like that.
Now I get to know the people I'm around, that I'm going to be in the show with.
Just get to know everybody I be performing with.
A lot of people do connect during those, and it's like in the group, every time somebody reads the poem, the whole group claps for them. If you don't know them or not, everybody's applauding.
I was really impressed with your work doing the interviews. I thought they were really good. It's hard to help people to feel free enough in front of a camera, particularly to talk.
Yeah.
And I think you all did a really, really very, very good job with that.
How do you guys feel right now?
Happy, because we got back positive feedback.
Yeah. I feel good, man. I still got butterflies, though, and it's already over.
How do you feel right now?
I feel relieved because I think I actually did a pretty okay job. Compared to how I was before the show, I was nervous and I was like, oh, I was shaking, this and that. But once I got on my first time on stage, I think I did pretty good. I mean, I give myself a 7.
I feel pretty good. I never knew there was this much, like, talent.
Performance is everything you're doing. If you're being funny with your friends, that's performing. If you're not being polite at the dinner table, that's performing.
There's drama off the stage, there's drama on the stage. Just gotta fight back. So instead of fighting physically, I fight lyrically.
How is performance an everyday thing?
People are always watching you, everything you do. Everywhere you go, I mean, somebody's always looking at you, noticing something. So it's kind of like the same thing, like on stage when you're performing, people are watching you, what you're doing.
I tell them just like that, do you, and do whatever you feel is you, not try to be like other people. Do you.
Yo, chill with the hating, man. Do what you gotta do and stop worrying about somebody trying to be better than you or trying to be better than other people.
If you want to do something positive and bring something back to the community, you can always do it. Don't be shy, don't be afraid, just do it.
I think we probably try to make the questions as simple as possible.
Yeah, we changed the question so it would be easy to answer.
After a certain, at the third time we saw the groups of people, they kind of knew what we were getting at, and they knew how to answer the questions better.
By the third time we met with them, it was more of a conversation than anything. Because we were more comfortable with them.
We also talked to them before we taped and after we taped.
And then it got to the point they actually looked forward. For the third time, they was actually like, hey, when y'all gonna do it? When y'all gonna do it? Basically, our goal was to get a group of volunteers together and talk about what we feel about the All-Stars.
The reason why I keep coming here is because this is the only youth run program that I even know.
I used to sit home, watch TV, eat, and that's not productive for me. And it gave me something to do.
You're very enthusiastic about everything, and that kind of rubs off on you.
It gave me something to do on Saturdays. It gave me a reason to get out of Queens.
I really didn't get out of Brooklyn. I was in Brooklyn. Just Brooklyn was my world.
Give back, not to get back, but to give back to people that's unfortunate to be where I'm at right now. If I wasn't with the All-Star, I'd probably be outside hanging, playing dice with my friends and whatnot.
I volunteered because he wanted somebody to be there with him and he needed positive influence. And around my way where I live, it's like gangs and every day somebody's getting shot and it was not good for him.
So I volunteered to show him that, you know, you can do something positive for your community and do something like really good to help people.
Watching those interviews, and I really was touched by this and moved. To everyone there, All Stars means something different, and that seems a great thing. Because why wouldn't it be that way? I think too frequently, these kinds of programs, there's this notion of who the official person who wrote the program says it means, and you've got to fit into that meaning. The All Stars is, in my opinion, wonderfully not like that. It means completely different things to different people. I think that's a measure of its success. One standard answer that came up again and again, which I was really fascinated with, is that there's nothing else to do.
Seemed like the thing to do. Seemed like a new family to join in.
It was also something to do.
No, I was bored.
It gave me something to do.
I found that very interesting and very revealing, and in some strange way, very positive. Because I think what it says about the All Stars, and I think this is a great compliment for me, is it's something to do.
Personally, when I first got into the All Stars, it was the same thing for me. There was nothing else to do.
Right.
And I don't think it's negative at all. I think it's saying that, you know, the All Stars gives you something to do, which is good.
And you don't outgrow it. Like some programs have age things. Like you could keep doing this till you're 50 or till you die, basically. So
I'm 65. I'm still doing it.
You also get a big, strong acceptance here. Like no matter who you are or what preference anything in your life is, you get a huge acceptance. And it's not like that. It's not like that in a lot of places.
Why do you think it's not like that in a lot of other places? How do you understand that? Why do you think the All Stars is different than a lot of other places?
I probably think it's because other places receive money, like government money. Kids that are in gangs, you got to use this money for them to get out of gangs, or use this money for teenage pregnancy. Here's like everybody. Money comes from regular people, so it's like you can use the money basically for regular people.
And like when you see like Pam and Lisa talking to every volunteer and stuff, and like you may not have liked that person when you first met them, but when you see them, like Lisa accepting somebody, you might get to know the person, so you see why Lisa, you know, likes them, so you learn from their examples.
Give you a certain kind of confidence to like go a step above what you normally do.
Do more things than you would usually do, to just be more outgoing.
They help me how to deal with tolerance and how to deal with different personalities.
Be with the All Stars, certain people, you know, they bring that part of the person out of you, just to be outgoing and, you know, speak out loud and tell you not to be afraid of anything, you know. Like I could sit here and talk to you, and I could go to, you know, Merrill Lynch and sit there and talk with people, and they understand what I'm saying because I got that sense of mind from the All Star.
And a lot of people have said, like, not just with the talent show, but with every aspect of All Stars, they've got a lot of opportunities. I know me and Corey personally, because, like, I don't know if but, like, DSY has given us so much.
I've been a participant for 11 years now. Started out as a performer, singing group, rap group, manager of dance and rap groups. Then I became a producer and I started learning all the behind the scenes aspects, and every day kept learning more and more. Learned, like he was saying, computer work, and they had basic computer skills, but they gave me the opportunity to learn even more. They have different people with skills in different areas, computers, acting, so forth, and I was able to learn off everybody else who was there. So basically, ever since I've been here, it's been an everlasting learning experience.
I think you asked if the All Stars helps the community. So then people had many different opinions about whether, no, it helps the individual, not the community, no, it helps the community, but if it helps the individual, it helps the community, and this whole back and forth thing.
It helps the people in the community who join it, and if it teaches anyone, or if you get from it to be a leader, then you yourself can come back and help your community.
When they have their shows, they're getting people off the street. So that in that way, they're helping the community. They're helping the community at large, because they're getting some of the young people off the street who really don't have anything else to do.
I get how it can help.
Yeah, it brings
a
the
group
community
of people
together.
And to help bring their community together, or bring two different communities together.
It helps a person, and then they can in turn help their community.
I think you're not being generous enough to yourselves in terms of what this does for the community. Because I think it really makes a difference to a community when people come together, namely yourselves and other people, and create something positive in the community. I think the community experiences that. even if they're not in the show, don't come to a show. I think it's something that people talk about. If something positive happens in a community, created by people from the community, namely yourself and other people, I think that has a big impact on the community. I think you're super. I think you're great in providing a lot of leadership, in addition to having fun, or maybe because I think people watch the All-Stars, look at the All-Stars, even from a distance, and get very positive vibes from it, get a very positive attitude from it. I think that's about as important a thing as you can bring to a community.
Performance really helps you to fit into different situations.
When you perform, you got to be yourself all the time. You can't, bring yourself down for nobody else. You got to be up on point, to perform.
It's okay to rhyme about fighting and shooting and things like that, as opposed to going and actually doing it. It's much better to express your anger on the stage than on the streets. Plenty of times we go up there and dance or sing or rhyme or whatever, just frustrated. You need something to do. You need a way to vent, and that's a better way of doing it than to go on the street and get yourself into trouble.
As soon as you step out the house, or even in your house, you perform. When you wake up, you perform because you decide to perform a good job for the day. You know what I'm saying? You put on your mask, really.
In some ways, that's the whole point of the program. The point of the program is helping people to understand that we all do endless different kinds of performances. You perform, as people in the group were saying, with your family, you perform this way. When you're hanging out on the corner, you perform this way. When you're going down to Merrill Lynch to do this kind of thing, you perform. And that we're all capable of doing endless kinds of performances, different kinds of performances. To me, that's the central point of the whole program. That's what development is, to me at least. Development means learning that we're not locked into one performance for everything we do, but we all have the capacity to do different performances in different situations, and that's growthful.
Here at the Institute, we believe that learning and development take place everywhere, not just in a classroom or an office. That's why we bring our practice to where the kids are, to the communities where they live, and to the activities that they care so much about. Performance is a lot of fun. Maybe that's why it's so growthful.